Hey, what up, though? It's your boy, T-Way Sports and Culture, back to put a little game in your brain and showing love to those doing the same. Go ahead and like, share, comment, and subscribe if you're feeling the content. You feel me? Anyways, y'all, so we all saw the altercation between T.I. and his son, King Harris, at the Atlanta Falcons game for the Atlanta Falcons tribute for 50 years of hip-hop for Atlanta artists, in which King was back there arguing back and forth with somebody, and T.I. stepped in the middle of that argument and basically hemmed up King. And, we're getting a lot of reaction and everything from that event. But some of the main commentary that I'm seeing regarding that is, a lot of people are basically saying that, hey, King, you grew up in the suburbs. You grew up in a nice gated community. Why are you acting hood, man? Why do you think it's cool to be hood and be tough? And I was reading that I guess King was allowed to stay with his grandmother while growing up because he didn't want to, live in this gated community and things like that. And he was able to live with his grandmother, and people were saying that, that's really his only attachment to the hood. And, really you shouldn't be acting like that. You're a suburban kid. You grew up in a nice gated community. And even though you live with your grandmother for a short time, hey, man, you're a suburban kid. But I think it's time for all of us to be honest, man. I don't understand why, people are blown away by this type of behavior. It doesn't matter where you're from the suburbs to the hood, even suburban kids, man. This thing is bigger than your environment. This is a culture that we push, we promote, and, we endorse. This is something that, overall, all of us, especially in the hip hop community, black community, this is what we deem to be appropriate behavior more often than not. Not all, but some. There is a sector of our community that thinks that, hey, man, in order to be accepted, this is how you have to act. This is what you need to do. A lot of people that are speaking about, man, you ain't hood, you ain't this, still support the type of lifestyle, still support the type of entertainment, still support the type of music that promotes this as being a quote unquote man, as being quote unquote hard. You know what I mean? When you are in a community where there's really no defined definition of manhood, there's no defined definition of how a young man should carry himself. This is the generation that I like to refer to as the clout generation. That this is the results of that. This is how they're raised. They're taught to think that this type of behavior is what a man is supposed to display. You know what I mean? We're supposed to have, uncontrollable emotion, no control of our emotions, be willing to go from calm to violent in a click of a hat, 0 to 100. And we're taught to have no control. We're taught that an emotional outburst is the only way that you handle this stuff. A violent outburst is the only way that you handle this stuff. I mean, just go look at the music and the type of stuff that we as a culture promote, we as a culture listen to, we as a culture absorb, and then we're actually blown away when kids that didn't grow up in those environments are acting like this. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, King is, he's in a different situation. He's the son of a celebrity where, we can visibly see into their household. Obviously they had a show called The Family Hustle, where we actually saw a lot of the, inner workings of their family, even though that's not everything that was going on in their family. We were able to see a portion of King and his family growing up. But when you're growing up under, somebody like T.I., who's an entertainer, who has been in and out of jail a lot of times and wasn't there probably during a lot of pivotal moments of King's life, what do you expect? You know what I mean? T.I., a lot of this stuff that's going on is some stuff that has been piling up for years, and it's just coming to a head. I heard him, I got a chance to go on his IG and see how he reacted after, the altercation and, some of his explanation. He was basically saying that, if I'm a mistake, let me know. And, a bunch of stuff going back and forth. But let's be honest, man, this is something that has bubbled and came to a head after years and after years of neglect and not having the right guidance and not having the right examples of how to handle your emotions, how to be a man, what is important and what isn't. You know what I mean? Now you're trying to play catch up, and you're in a situation where you basically roughing your son up in public because you didn't actually instill these lessons earlier in life. So, we have to stop pushing and embracing a culture like this, as demonic and negative as it is, and then being surprised when we get the actual product of that. You know what I mean? Just again, look at the music. You know what I mean? You guys will criticize this behavior, and why do you want to act hood? Why do you want to act hood? While going to your 9-to-5 job, playing Sexy Red, playing drill music, playing this type of stuff that promotes that. And this stuff, seeps deep into your psyche, man. It seeps deep into your subconscious, and it becomes a cultural norm. These are cultural norms now. This is something that we've all created. This is something that we've all contributed to. And now all of a sudden we see a celebrity child, a celebrity kid who we deem grew up in a quote unquote perfect household, an ideal household, and we expect them to be able to overcome what has been culturalized, what has been ingrained, what has been essentially leading our community for so long, and we've had no kind of counteractive, approach to this. These are the chickens coming home to roost. This is the clout era. This is the clout generation. This is why, a lot of these young people think that, in order to get the attention that you want, in order to get the attention that you need, you got to go do the most wildest, off the chain, off the hook thing to get the attention that you're looking for. And logic be damned, this is how you do it. We live in a society where, nobody's teaching emotional control. Nobody's preaching emotional control. We're preaching that, hey, if you feel a certain way, you should express it. If you are going through something, express it, no matter what it is. We don't teach or promote in our culture a logical breakdown in how to handle your emotions, man. And it's just crazy to see that, a lot of us that have built and contributed to this culture that produces kids and people like a King being upset at the culture that we actually built. So, again, to me, it's not really shocking. I'm not really blown away that, he's a guy or a kid that grew up in the suburbs and behaving like this, because, again, this is a culture that's encompassing of more than just an environment. Yeah, at one point, that behavior and hip hop and everything was isolated to the hoods and everything like this. But when this type of behavior becomes mainstream and pop culture, affecting more than just that area, you gotta expect pretty much everyone from any type of walk of life to be, acting like this, if this is something that we have placed at the top of the pedestal of manhood. And this is what you expect from a man. We raise these emotionally weak young men. We raise these young men that have no emotional control. And, we can't really be caught off guard that this is the product that it produces. So, like I said, King has a really, at this point, a pretty rich history of this type of behavior. And honestly, I don't see it stopping no time soon. T.I. is doing all he can at this point to come in and try to give him the lessons, especially after a lot of the backlash that King has received online over the years for this type of behavior. So now you see T.I. kind of stepping up and doing this, and I pray that it's not too late. But man, I honestly don't think that he's going to learn until he's in a situation that is either life or death. It's going to be something that's going to be something that's real enough to make him change. Because right now he hasn't experienced anything that's real enough that's going to make him change. And honestly, you can kind of look forward to this type of behavior coming out of him, going forward until that moment comes. But yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think. Like I said, man, we got to change the culture, man. We got to show different ways for these young men to be able to handle their emotions, man. And until then, we can expect this type of behavior from young black men from any walk of life. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Jump in the comment section. What do y'all think about the current culture? What do you think about King's next moves, man? Do you see him changing anytime soon? Anyways, I holla. Peace.